What's up, honey love? What's up, girl? What's up, love, honey love? I see you. What you doing, Red Sonia? What's up, Sonia? Fat Mama Sonia. What's up, Fat Mama Sonia? What's up, Fat Mama Sonia? What's up, Mayday? Lord Mayday. What's up, boy? What's up, Lord Mayday? What's up, my boy Doc? What you say, Doc? What you say, Doc? What you say, Doc? It's my big boy, Doc. What you say? All right. Welcome back to another week, another episode of Game Dog Talk. And of course, while we're waiting on the panel, we have the legendary schoolboy, Mr. Richard Garcia, in the building. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Feeling good. Just a little sleepy, though.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Welcome, everybody, to the chat. Thanks for showing up, guys.
Yes, sir. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the building. Let me do a quick roll call. Luigi, I think that's Luigi Diaz. Salute. Michael Forgood. Salute. Ty Green. Grind Mode. Kennels. Mallow Bulls. ODG Bulldogs. AJ. Mr. Anderson. Gregorius Bulldogs. No Smoke TV. Let's see here. Arrowhead Kennels. Vernon Starr. Run 'em Down Dread. Lefty American Pitbull Terrier. Hugo. Mike Lee. Salute.
Right.
Martinez Game Dogs. City Boy Kennel. Salute, fam. We got Old Smoke. Dreadlock. Self-Made Kennels.
Dreadlock.
Slick Nick. Doran. Jaden Johnson. Walnut, PA. Let's see here. Miami Snoopy 305. Salute to you, man. SBO Kennels. Jeff Smith. The lovely Brown Sugar Tay. How you doing?
Tay.
Let's see here. Soul Power, a.k.a. Gamed Up Kennels. What's happening, man? Salute to everybody in the building. Appreciate y'all for joining us, man. And, of course, we got legendary Bakri, only in America Kennels. How you doing today, brother?
What's going on, brothers? What's going on to the panel and the brothers and brothers and sisters in the chat?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Bob?
What's going on, Rich? Brother? All right, brother.
Salute to everybody in here. I see you in here cracking Kennels. Salute, homie. Frank Rizzo. Salute to everybody in the building.
Frank.
All right. So, first of all, Mr. Garcia, how was your weekend?
Good. Went to the last weekend. Went to the old timers get together. A lot of old dog man we read about, and just had a good time, man. The host Billy Foster put on had a good spot, good food, barbecue, all that, and then went to different restaurants. But it was good talking with people like Jim Stinson, Danny Burton. It was Jerry Bean's birthday. I think he's 83 or something like that. And a lot of people were there. Gene Matson, Glenn Casino, Holly Shirley, Leander Daigle. If you guys ever think about researching the old magazines, they're all in there. You'll see them all in there. But yeah, it was a good time, man. I enjoyed. Look forward to going next year. They're going to do it every year.
No, that's what's up. Good stuff. How was your weekend, Brother Bach?
Oh man, pretty good. I had a couple of people fly in from England, came down for a week, so they just left today. So it's been pretty lovely. All's been good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Ram not feeling good today, so I don't know if he might chill. He might not show up.
We hope the brother feel better.
Yes, sir. So we got let's get to our first question we got here from last week. A brother says, historically speaking, for a weight pool, how many pounds is too much to push, or does it just depend on the individual dog? How much weight is too much to push back in your day, Mr. Garcia?
Well, for a lot of guys, They wouldn't give up 1 ounce, you know.
Right.
And most people, you know, if you were over, they would take the forfeit, you know. Some people, you know, wasn't, if it was an ounce or two or whatever, you know, it wasn't that much. Someone wouldn't even take the forfeit. They just go ahead and do it, you know. But generally speaking, you don't want to give up any weight. But, you know, I wasn't generally like a lot of people. So sometimes I'd be a half a pound under or a pound under, or I'd come up in weight with my dog, you know, a pound, sometimes 2 pounds. 2 pounds is a lot, you know. But if you fluctuate within a pound, I think you're all right. And the thing too is again, if you do some research and look at these dogs, the same dogs are, most of them are not matched, weren't matched back then at the same weight all the time. It's rare that one dog who has a career is, you know, he's not a 38 for his whole career. Sometimes they go down a little bit, you know, 37 and a half, even 37. Sometimes they come up. Like, for example, Tito's Champion Ninja. He started off as a 36, ended at 38. Mr. Rogers, you know, off of Cherokee Chief and Dirty Mary, he started off at a 33, ended up at 36. You know, that happens, and a lot of it is maybe the dog was young when they started out and he grew up in weight, or maybe you know, sometimes the dogs are spread around between different handlers, and even within the same group, you know, same combine or kennel, the guys don't agree on the dog's weight. So one guy will do them at this weight, another guy do them at that weight, you know. Even Queen of Hearts, she fought the same bitch twice, and I think, you know, Queen of Hearts was a 38, 39. I think the bitch that went into her twice was like a 35 or 36 pounder. And apparently gave her some trouble. And, you know, Queen, it didn't go long, but still in the beginning, I think, you know, if you read the reports, she was a pretty tough bitch. So, you know, speaking of that, you know, you want to try and get your dog's weight, or, you know, at the best weight possible. But in the overall scheme of things, that doesn't happen a lot, you know, because like I said, there's just different opinions, and dogs grow and all that, you know, as they get older, sometimes they'll grow, but anything, you know, over a pound was considered, you know, too much, except with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Salute to Going Hard Kennels in the building. Salute to you.
Salute to Going
twins.
Hard. Way to go, brother.
Yes, sir. Brother Bach, what's your take on that? Historically speaking, how much weight was too much weight to push?
Well, Brother Rich gave a great great answer, as always. Only difference I would add to everything Rich just stated was that styles make determine sometimes when a person feels like they might go a little bit, like Rich said, most people don't. Now I ain't talking about the petty people. Now what I mean by that, now if you a quarter pound over with me, then I wouldn't have gave a damn. You was maybe a half a pound, I probably wasn't bitching, depending on the circumstances. But definitely a quarter pound, I wasn't bitching. But some people ride goddamn 8 hours and take a fucking forfeit and leave because a person was a quarter ounce over. And I'm like, really, that is not going to determine shit. Or even a quarter pound, as far as I was concerned. So, me personally, if I felt the dog I was bringing, I mean, I want everybody to be on weight, but shit, give me some goddamn eyes, and your ass can be a pound over with me, with anything I had. Because I just felt like the way I bring my shit light anyway, so my shit truly will be the weight that you already at anyway. Like your pound, I'm really your size. You get what I'm saying? So, like I told you before, I condition my dogs different. Like, matter of fact, Twin and them had an excellent show Friday, if anybody seen it, and fucking Richard was, I mean, amazing.
That was a good show, man. I really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me on, Twins.
Bruh, that was one of the best shows I think I ever saw. Rich did a fantastic job on conditioning. I mean, whoever they want to go back and record that shit and get he dropped jewels after jewels. And like I said, Twin and them put a beautiful show together. Like I said, my condition is different. So I might have a 45, but I'm playing at 41 and 42. So if you stand there pound of whatever over, I'm really still your size. You get what I'm saying? So you can just give me some eyes, and I'm still gonna be damn near bigger than your 40, maybe whatever your pound, whatever your joint is. I'm still gonna most likely be bigger than you. But that's from years of learning how to go from the bottom and come up, and then be able to school your dogs at certain weights to see if you still hold the same strength, mouth, and everything. And if you can, then you can get away with it. Then different dogs hold water different. There's a lot to that I just ain't gonna get into right now. But so I would give up a pound with some eyes, maybe a pound and a half, depending what dog I got. But most people, you know, I mean, it's opinionated in terms of what each individual want to give up, to not give up, and just run with the forfeit. I just always felt if you wasn't really 2 pounds, damn near with me, I did too much and came too far to just give me some eyes, and I'm gonna take my chance. You know what I mean? So now, but it's always a risk to that, because you got to take everybody that you go into to have always say they got an ace in your mind, and know that there's a possibility you about to fuck up. But I was always so competitive that I'm just want to believe I could still kick your ass with damn near 2 pounds. Right, you know, right. Well, that was just me. I'm not telling everybody to do that, but I would have done it.
Yeah. Did you guys catch that? Did y'all catch that? What he said? If you didn't, then when we're all done, go back and listen to it. And because what he said was, what he's saying is, you may come in at 44, but your dog ain't a 44. He may be a 43 or a 42. That's what Bach is talking about there.
Right.
In a little, just a brief second, because that happens a lot. Dogs come in on weight. They both make weight. One is smaller than the other, even though they're the same weight, because he's not really that weight. He's a smaller dog than that. Yours may be a true 44. Theirs might be a 42 or 43, but they brought him in at 42. And just right, that's what you were saying, Bob.
Correct. And also, if I need to see your dog. So if I see your dog, I mean, here's the thing, and Rich, you know this. This is crazy. 70% of the dudes I've seen the dogs don't know how to call weight. They don't.
Yeah.
70% of the people that I fucking went into and saw others going to, and I reffed a bunch of them, they don't know how to call weights. And the reason they don't know how to call weights, you go by the eye test, and that shit ain't no good. Each dog carry water and everything different. Okay? And you can't go by the weight size of just your eye test. You got to go with a pre-keep until you see where they fall at. Where they fall at is their weight. Then you can play whether you think you can go a fucking half a pound from that to a pound over, depending on how comfortable you feel, and based off of the rolls that it did, to be able to show you that they can go this way or that way without losing. You feel me? So a lot of times, just like, I'm gonna just say this, my son, even in the flop match, going for her 6th, they let my son go in the fucking room thinking he was a goddamn child, but he was taught by me from fucking 3 years old. Seriously. And I taught him a whole lot of shit. So they let him go in the room to the opposition who Grand Champion flop going into. They let him feel the fucking dog. They let him see the dog and everything. He comes back out. He tells us, he says, Dad, I got 700 in my pocket, and I need to be able to put all that in there. I said, what's going on? He said, man, that ain't no goddamn 30. He said, there ain't no 34. And he's saying that, I think he was like 12. He said, that ain't no 34. I said, what? He said, man, that's a 31 at best. No way they should have her at 34. She's not going to make 20 minutes. Sure enough, she made 17 and she would have died in 20. But I'm just saying, he was able to see that quick, just like Tito was able to see what he was able to see as soon as we came through the airport in California. It didn't take 2 seconds for him he saw what he saw. It was just that quick. It don't take long. So what I'm saying is you're gonna be able to make your mind up real quick on, oh yeah. I'll get this dude 2 pounds. That dog already fucked up, or that dog is too little. That's not even, you know what I'm saying? So all of that you factor in too.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Right. Good stuff. Good stuff, man.
Right. Another question we got here is back in the day, historically speaking, how did you guys go about starting your hounds, and what age normally, Mr. Garcia?
You know, when you start out, you know, you're learning whatever, you know, if you don't have a mentor like I did, and you know, you tend to think, because the way I grew up, you tend to think at a year-old dog's a dog. It's not a pup no more, you know. So I've done dogs at 11 months, 12 months, 13 months, 14 months, you know. It's better to wait until they're older, somewhere around the 18 months, you know, when you actually start them. And me and Bach have talked about this before. You guys can go back, look at the vids, you know. You do stuff with them to make sure they're going to start. And I never started a dog unless they had already put their mouth on something. I'll put it that way. And you teach them throughout their life, and they fight each other when they're puppies and litter mates, and you fool with them and do this and that. So, you know, I've done dogs at 14 months, 16 months, 18 months. And the reason I say 18 months is because, you know, their teeth ain't set in their head, and they may be immature in their mind, and they may be not fully developed, you know, because they're going to fight no matter what. It's just a matter of some people I know did that throughout their whole life. They would start them at 12 months no matter what. That was just it. You know, sometimes you lose teeth, sometimes you don't. But they just bump them a little bit to get them going, you know. In their mind, it's starting them up and getting them going, put that in their head, you know. So it's all up to the person, you know, who has their dogs, what they want to do with them. And some, you know, they're young, they won't start anyways. But for me, I made sure they were going to go. As soon as I cut them loose, they're going to go. Whether the other one wanted to do something or not, or whether the other one came out hard too, whatever, mine were going to go. And that's just the way they were raised. And I kept that trait in them, you know, for generations, because that's the kind of dogs I like. I got tired of them fussing around and fooling around and playing and rubbing nose together and pushing. They stand there and wait and they growl and all. Fuck all that shit. I just didn't like it. I had too many of them like that prior to that, and that was not the kind of dogs I want. So a good measure, what most people agree on, is starting them was 18 months. Some, believe it or not, don't start them, start schooling them till they're 2 years, because they're not fully mature till they're 3 years anyways, you know. So me, you know, at a year and a half, I'm going to do them a few times, and they'll be over 2, closer to 2.5 when I first put them out there. Usually I've done that too, where I match dogs at 20 months, you know. It just depends on the dog too.
Right.
Some ride at 2 years, a little before 2 years. One of them 3 years, you know, because he was a late starter. So like that, you know.
Yes, sir. What's your take on that, Brother Bob?
I'm very unconventional, so I'm not telling anybody to follow my shit. Okay? I would never tell nobody to follow mine, because first of all dogs aren't created equal. So none of them are the same. One can handle a whole lot of mental pressure, another one can't. They could both be physically gifted to handle anything, but mentally, one is stronger, and you have to be able to know that. Even if they both similarly act the same. And with that, the ones that I felt, like Rich said, the ones that act, and normally what I breed are all ready to go at 7 weeks old. Okay, so that's how they are. I don't have really puppies that and that's the reason I don't breed hardly too many different crosses out of my own, because I don't like late starters. I don't have time for that shit. I never had time for that. I'm not a patient person. I'm very impatient, so I have to have dogs that fit my personality. Okay, so my pups at 7 weeks old, they ready to hit grown dogs. Okay, so I'm normally, if you heard Pat Patrick's interview when he was talking to the Russian, I'm sure a lot of people heard that interview. heard him talk, but not an interview, but him selling some dogs to the guy.
Right.
And he asked him, "What's your favorite dog on the yard?" He said, "Rick Rude." He said, "Why?" He said, "Because the fella, mind you, me and Pat Patrick haven't been speaking really. We felt it, you know, we had a few, so we wasn't speaking for many years. So he didn't say my name. He would have said my name if we were speaking. So he says, the fella that had Rick Rude, he had 17 roles. And then he was a best in show at a big convention, right? And he's right. I put my shit down, 17, 4-time winner, champion Lexus Coupe, 17 roles. That's my number. And I start the motherfuckers from 3 months old, all the way until I think they ready to go. And each one different. Some I need to wait because I think need to go at 3. Some can go at 2. I hardly don't do nothing before 2, but some can go at 2. Hell, Tyrone and them went at 2. Grand Champion Hammer went at 14 months. But I'm just saying my number really I like to do was 3, but I don't always make it there. So what I'm saying is, of course, I'm not doing a role like a person might think, where I'm actually just letting them. I mean, it might go 2 minutes. It might just be placing something on top of something that I want to see how that puppy reacts without letting the puppy get uninterested or hurt. So but I count all of that, because anytime I touch a dog, I got to count it. Right. Anytime it's touched, I count it. If it's for fucking 2 minutes or for 2 hours, it's a count for me. So I like I tell anybody, Kobe Bryant, he didn't become his work ethic with that Mamba mentality and all that didn't start when he fucking got in the pros. He was like that from getting his ass kicked over there in Italy, and then he got tired of it until he wanted to kick some ass, but he been doing that shit from a baby. So I don't expect to have a Kobe Bryant in terms of a dog if just starting this motherfucker at 2 years old. That makes no sense to me. Now I'm just going on all genetics. That don't work for me, because now I have to implement my way of how I want this dog to be, plus his or her genetic makeup and traits. You understand? So I start fucking with mines at 3 months old until they ready to go. So that can be 2 years old or 3 years old. I don't breed nothing. I gotta wait past that. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I do it. Some people say don't touch them till they 2. That's still that's great information. Some people say don't let your shit go out till they 3 years old. That's great information. I'm not arguing with that. Whoever's told that to somebody or done it, I commend them. But me, I do me, and I really don't give a fuck about approvals of nobody. So, and I was damn good and successful at what I did. So it was no reason for me to change what I was doing. You feel me? So, but I'm just saying that's me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Word.
Good stuff. All right. We got another question is, he says, my question is there a difference in physical development from dogs that are kept on the chain versus in a kennel? And if space and money weren't a problem, which would you have your hounds? Which would you have for your hounds? Let's start with you, Brother Bot.
I mean, it's always chains beat anything. You know what I mean? The chain beat a kennel all day, every day. Something that's sitting still and something that's working, what do we believe gonna be the better athlete? One's getting exercise, and the other one is in a confined space. You understand? So we talking about a lot of people, especially in places where they don't have, like down south and things of that nature, where they don't have a lot of space, they're confined to crates, damn near their whole goddamn life. So what type of athlete can that be versus me put my pup on the chain at 3 months and you having your shit on the crate the whole life? Which one of them dogs, when they seen each other, gonna be the better athlete? Okay, so I always wanted either chain or a cable setup, or unless their pen was a huge one where they can get around in it. But yeah, I mean, so the dog who got more space is going to have the best results. One with less space is not, So yeah, and like I said, I mean, and if you confine to where you just don't have limited space, then I don't care if you have one dog or 20 dogs in that confinement. You're gonna have to get them damn dogs on some treadmill, some type of workout. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even think their bones develop that good in no damn crate sitting in there 23-hour lockdown.
Right.
So I would never, and I'm gonna just say this: I was never, everybody got to do what they, but I feel like if you ain't got the space, you shouldn't have these motherfuckers. Really, I just think it's cruel to sit in a goddamn crate all day and your piss and your feces. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's cruel. So, me personally.
Yes, sir. Mr. Garcia, what's your take?
Ditto to what Bach said. It's you can a lot of places you have to have them in a kennel now. That's just the ways the laws are. So if you do that, my advice would be you got to take them out several times a day, and you got to exercise it. That's a time factor. Having them on the chain, the circumference, even if it's a 6-foot chain, it's a lot more space than a 10 by 10 kennel. And there's very few dogs, even if they're active, you put them in a kennel, they're not going to be running that kennel all day. They're not going to be jumping off on their house and running around in circles. They just ain't, even if you put something in there for them to work, like a spring pole, just some people put, pieces of rubber or whatever. They'll do it a little bit, and if they're just have that much high of a metabolism and so active, they might do it all day. But most dogs ain't going to do that. That's very few and far between. The chain, it also gives them a sense of freedom to a certain extent because they can move around. They can get up and take a piss and shit whenever they want. They can go chase something, hit the end of their chain, or they can run that chain back and forth. And with a cable run, you just have that much more freedom for the dog to do that and movement. Sometimes they'll lay in this spot, that spot. They can move around. The shade's here one time of the day, and a different time of the day it's over here. So they move, and they look at each other and get fired up or whatever. In a kennel, they don't really do that. In fact, I had one. He was destructive. He started chipping his chain, so I mentioned it to OTK. He said, "Give him to me, Richard. I'll take care of it." I said, "You ain't gonna take care of his dog, crazy." He goes, "Yeah." I said, "What are you gonna do?" He said, "I'll put him in a kennel." So I let him have the dog. He took him, and I had already schooled him, and that kind of fired him up to where he just wanted to hit everything. So he took him. A month later, whatever it was, we're talking. I said, "Did it work?" He goes, "Yeah." He settled down. He don't do that no more. Some will fight that chain link fence, but most of them won't. And it just has a way of settling them down. That confinement, I think, like if you in jail or something,
And the
guys got some,
anxieties, Rich. Excuse me,
yeah,
but the
anxiety.
anxieties.
No, you're right. You're right. And just like you see in a zoo, you see these like wolves who are creatures that, they travel up to 25 miles a day out in the wild. They put them in these small kennels, even that might be a big kennel, but it's not the space they're used to. That's
Right.
why you see them walking back and forth and pacing back and forth. That's
Yeah.
that stress and anxiety, Same thing with a dog or someone in prison, That's why people in prison work out a lot, especially in solitary confinement. They got to be doing something or it'll drive you nuts,
Yeah.
And that's what can happen to animals too that are confined that way. It's a stress factor, anxiety, like Bach said, or like on a chain, especially a cable run. There's just that much more freedom, they know they're confined, but at least they have some movement that they can do. So always a chain is better than any type of other confinement if it's enclosed, so to speak. Even though the kennel may be open, they still have that feeling that they're enclosed. They can't get out. There's a side, front, back, top, bottom. They can't, get out. And um a lot, what Bach said, you know, these people that have them in their crate all day, that's happened. You know, they develop sores on their butt, on their ankles, and
a
a
roach
lot of
bat.
people in the city, sometimes they don't see daylight, you know, during the day. They might take them out once or twice a day, but if you work or whatever, you have, you know, you're not able to do that, you know. And even if you did, I mean, if you have any number of dogs, you're not going to be able to take them out 10 times a day, even 5 times a day, and sometimes not even 3 times a day, because that's a lot of dogs to walk out. And generally they're just walking them out so that they empty, and it's a few minutes. For some dogs that are active, they'll run for a couple hours, you know, before they even settle down. Some will run all day. Most of them won't. They lay down and they kick back, but anytime they want to get up and do something, or they get fired up, they can do it. Where in a crate, man, that's like being stuck in an enclosed bubble or something that has a, you know, a hose in it to get oxygen, and that's about it, man, you know.
Right.
And some of them keep them in basements and underneath the, you know, motels or whatever, you know, not motels, but you know, the rental properties, you know.
Right.
And they're just dark, and it's cruel, like Bach said. I mean, you can't do it right. You better off having one dog that you can have around with you, take with you to work, you know.
That's
fuck with that dog, you know, rather than have a bunch of them where you can't do that, you know. So chain always better.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree with you guys. I think if in a perfect world, if the laws permitted it, I think chains are healthier and better for the dogs. Dogs seem to be happier. They're in better shape. Because like you said, even if you put them in a nice sized kennel, it's still going to be a huge difference in their physique, their natural chemistry of their body, and their physical fitness when they're on the chain. You know what I mean? Compared to the kennel, I know because I've done both, and the dogs that's on the chain always look better than the dogs that's in the kennel. Always, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they develop differently, like you're saying, you know, and the ones that ain't raised that way, they're softer, you know.
Yeah,
that's a proof.
Their skin is softer, muscles like that, you know. And like Bach said, that's the analogy. What kind of athlete you want? What's best? You ain't gonna make them change them because you put them through a keep, you know.
Nope.
Or you know,
Nope.
it's good, it helps and all that, but it's not going to do too much. They're in good shape and all that, but they just stop, man. It's just, you know, if you ever wash a dog, you can tell. You know, you get down and wash them. Yeah, they look kind of good, you know, but man, their muscles ain't hard. You know, they're bone. You know, it's weird, man, because you can tell that how they've been raised just by that. Sometimes, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Salute to Sporting Dog Farms in the super chat. Appreciate the support, family. Appreciate the love.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, like you were saying, Mr. Garcia, like some, you know, the saddest shit. Because I do know some people who like they keep their dogs in these like little travel crates and shit. You know,
yeah.
You know, like the little travel ones. They keep these little. That's like the dog's literal house and shit. You know.
Yep.
They keep the dog in there while they at work, and then come home and let the dog out to use the bathroom, and they might let the dog sit around with them, you know, on some family shit for like 2 hours, and then put them back in the fucking crate. It's like, bro, that motherfucking dog ain't gonna get no type of muscle development, nothing. Man, you know?
There's pit bulls, famous pit bulls, matched pit bulls, competitive, this and that have been raised that way their whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
their whole life is like that. Can you imagine, you know, a dog's whole life, if he lives 15 years, he's in prison 15 fucking years of his life. Not just prison, but solitary confinement. You know, all they can see is out the front. Sometimes they face them up to the wall so they don't get worked up. And then they have the little slats on the side, plastic fucking crate. Even if it's a big one, it don't matter, man. And that's the cruel part that Bach was talking about.
And let me say this real quick too. Another thing, I never ever crated my dogs when I went to concerts, ever, never. They ride with me on my lap or next to me, there and back, because I never put them in no fucking crates. I hate to put them in a crate at all if I have to. But I'm just saying, even like I say, when I had the show, they never went in no kennel crate. So and it was always better for them because I don't want their ass sore in no damn kennel crate, and I don't want them, like I said, feeling any anxiety. And then a lot of dogs can't even take fucking kennels. Some dogs you just can't put in the kennel. They will bite their teeth, or they will bite out of it. They will hurt themselves trying to. So even where some feel like they cool in there, it's still anxiety. So why would you want a dog going through anxiety before you was getting ready to go somewhere? Fuck that. I want the dog to feel calm, and I'm talking to the rubbing that motherfucker, petting it while I sleep and whole nine. So everything's comfortable. So I just put that in there too.
Yeah. Yeah, like the saddest shit in the world is like, I like the aquarium, right? I love going to the aquariums and shit, like Monterey Bay Aquarium. And the saddest shit is to see a shark swimming back and forth in some fucking tank. And like, it's a big tank to us, but to a shark, it's like it's like fucking prison and shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's why they swim around in circles and shit.
Right, all day,
circles all day long.
Yeah,
because sharks have to constantly keep moving. They stop sometimes and to sleep or whatever, but generally they're moving all the time. That's just the way their biology is, So you can imagine, I don't care if it's a 1,000,000-gallon tank, it's not the same. And again, those animals are not, they're migratory too, but they cover a lot of distance, just like a coyote or a wolf. Even lions, they average 10 miles a day. Coyotes 10 miles a day. Wolves 20 miles a day. That's just general movement. And when they migrate, it could be, hundreds of miles over a period of days that they're moving from one spot to the other. So when you take that away from them, it drives them batty, And if there's any of that in the pit bull from their ancestry, it drives some of them batty when you confine them like that too,
Right. Salute to Doug. Appreciate you in the super chat, Doug. You said salute, dog, man. Salute to your homie.
Salute to brother Doug.
We got a question here. Interesting question. Question is, salute to the good brothers on the panel. He says, my question is, if Champion Homer was properly conditioned and handled by an experienced handler, do you feel the outcome against Champion Jeep would have been the same? And if not, would Champion Jeep still be given credit for his contribution to the game, or looked at the same as today, historically speaking? In your opinion, what's your thoughts on that, Mr. Garcia?
Yeah, that question comes up a lot because of the what Homer had to go through, and still, I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe Homer would have come out faster and Jeep would have broke the leg worse, or he took one leg out because of the way he was handled. He started slow. He might have finished Jeep like he did all his other opponents under an hour. They no dog went an hour. I think the longest he went was 50 minutes. So he was devastating dog, definitely a hard biter. The only way you would know is if you could turn back the clock and have him what someone considered right and see. I don't know. Most people say, yeah, he would have killed Jeep. I don't know. Who the hell knows? Maybe. The thing is, it's sometimes these stuff comes up, and it's hard for me to believe that an underweight, sick, dehydrated dog could go almost 4 hours. So maybe
me too, right?
Yeah,
that was always hard.
Yeah, maybe he could have, maybe he couldn't. I don't know. And he was a quality dog, dead game, no doubt, badass, good producer, all that. But regardless, if you've been in it long enough and you see a dog go more than once, and one time he looks good and the other time he don't, whether it's his health or conditioning, whatever, they don't go no fucking 3 hours. They don't do that. You're usually finished quicker, and it might go a little bit of time, maybe even an hour or better, but they don't go 3 hours under those conditions. So as far as Jeep being, producing all them dogs, if Homer did what he did to all the other opponents, he wouldn't have been around and he wouldn't have produced all them other dogs. And if he was game, he would have been touted as a game loser, and that would have been the end of it. And whatever he produced before that, that's all we have left. You know, that's what happened to Homer.
Right.
He wasn't bred that much, and even though he was bred during his career and before, he wasn't bred after that because he didn't survive after that. So I mean that's a contentious question. Who the fuck knows?
Right.
Because the first thought is, oh shit, he would have killed Jeep. Shit, I don't know. Maybe if he had come out hard, Jeep would have hit a bleeder and fucked him up. Maybe he would have finished him quick. I don't know. So it's just a matter. It's just a matter of opinion, you know.
How much of that stuff is just excuses anyway and shit, though? You know what I mean?
Well, that comes to that too. Some people, and this may not have nothing to do with this situation or not. Some people have a hard time being honest with themselves and honest about their dog. I have friends that are like that. It's never their fault. They did everything right. And standing on the outside, you know, and I'm talking friends in the past. Some I don't even know them no more. I haven't talked to them. But they can't see that their dog was not in good shape. They can't see that they missed the weight. They can't see the conditioning was shit. And it's never their fault. It's always some other circumstance. So if you can't do that, you're never going to be consistent. Because unless you recognize the problem, you can't fix it. You're not going to fix it because you think you're doing everything right. And it's never your fault. So there's circumstances like that leading up to every match where things can go wrong. For the most part, hopefully it's one dog's better than the other and that's it. Both in good shape, both healthy, both at the right weight. The better dog wins that day. But a lot of times it ain't that, you know. And when it ain't, it's usually the handler conditioner's fault. They just don't take responsibility for it. So they're going to have that repeated, you know, there's going to be over and over again, different times when they fucked up, but ain't their fault. You don't get consistency like that. You ain't going to have a high percentage like that. And there's guys, I know people who lost 10 in a row, 11 in a row, you know, and never could get it right. Then they'll win one by accident or by chance or whatever. And they're back on top in their head. And it just ain't that, you know?
Right.
So that's the best way I could answer that.
What do you think about that, Brother Bach? You want me to reread the question?
I'm gonna just say that Brother Rich hit it on all cylinders, but you could just hit the question one more time. And Mike can add one thing too.
It says here, if Champion Homer was properly conditioned.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm good. Well, like you know, hypotheticals aren't worth shit. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you know what I mean? That's like saying if LeBron was playing with Michael Jordan, he would be the superstar and Michael wouldn't. You know, we can always go with hypotheticals. Fact is, Homer lost. He was a good dog. Jeep won. I mean, people would say nothing would have stopped Jeep prior to the Homer fight from producing. He was already known as the best producing dog, and his mama was the best producing bitch. So they were the top producers. You know what I'm saying, at that particular era. Both of them was questionable at one time. One time they said fucking Honey Bunch stop. There's people said Jeep stop, looked around, all type of shit. It's funny that they produced then it better than anything else. So at the end of the day, I love Jeep lines. They have withstood the time, and they were solid. So in terms of the Homer blood, I love the Homer blood too. But in terms of just saying if Homer was right, because I've always said, now I didn't see that, I wasn't there at the show, but I was always like, Rich, how the fuck he go that long if he was so fucked up? And if he was that fucked up, what took Jeep so long to get him out of there? Either one of the two, I always worried. I wondered, you know, because it, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was, you know what I'm saying? So if he was
Yeah.
so fucked up, why did it go 3 hours with Jeep take? Because that means Jeep wasn't shit then. If it took him 3 hours to get rid of a sick dog, it was underweight and all fucked up. What type of dog was Jeep? So I'd never seen Jeep go. Um, and then like I said, and Homer would have had to be an extraordinary dog, the way they said he was, to go that length and still be competing. You know, so I look at it all types of ways. If I was there, I would have had a truer assessment of what I saw, you know, but I didn't see it. So I'm just like most people just heard about it. But I can't say one way or another because, like Richard said, sometimes you got dogs like, and I'm sure everybody had one of these or had one. You got dogs, you say, damn, I wish they brought a killer in here because my shit plays around with you when it's just a piece of shit or average. It's gonna be methodically do it. It's gonna win, but it's gonna do it based off of the competitive. I mean, the level that the dog is. But if the dog,
a lion playing with a gazelle.
right? But now if it faces a fucking another lion, oh shit, then it's gonna hurry up and quickly destroy it. So that's what I'm saying. So
Good
certain
point.
dogs, I would have. I say, man, I hope this is a killer guy because this one, sometimes he can kind of cat and mouse it a little bit. He just want to play around with it before he finishes it. But if it's a straight, if he feels that, or she feels that motherfucker coming out and trying to kill it, like for instance, and Rich knows this, certain dogs won't even play the face or any defensive style at all, just if they feel like the dog doesn't offer no hard mouth or nothing, to just let them go all offense. But if that dog can bite like a motherfucker, then we can go play the face and bite they fucking face up quick. You understand? Where we wouldn't even touch the face if it can't bite, for
Yep.
instance.
Yep. There's several stories of dogs just like that they kind of fuck around and this and that. Then
Right.
their opponent does something to piss them off or put the
Correct.
shit to them, and then
Right.
they end it quick.
Correct.
You know,
So
they're not much of a threat, early
correct.
on or whatever it is.
Correct.
But when it happens, not now, this shit's for real. We ain't just fucking around. But
Correct.
yeah, that can happen. It's a mental game too, in that respect.
So, and I was just going on there, Rich, just to go to what you were saying earlier on the hypotheticals, stating that if he was better shape or better, then Jeep might have turned it up more, depending if he felt he had to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all smash the like button while y'all in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate y'all being here, but hit that like button. We should have about 200 some likes, but we don't. So let's get them on up there. Salute to everybody in the chat. See y'all in the building. All right. Another question we got here is it okay to breed a dog who does not show deep gameness for its other attributes? Like, is it okay to breed them for its other attributes other than gameness, like size, structure, etc.? Mr. Garcia.
Yeah, some people do that, because you're trying to capture certain traits. I wouldn't. This is just me again. I wouldn't out and out breed a cur dog. I just wouldn't, and I wouldn't keep or breed cold dogs. That's just me. But can you breed a dog that doesn't have certain traits, including that deep gameness, and get something out of them? Yeah, because any negative that happens to be there or exposes itself, you can fix it. If you know how to breed, you can fix it. So in your mind, you might say, well, I ain't never seen this dog go all the way, or I question if he's really, really game or whatever, but I'm going to breed him because he has these other attributes. And then the offspring, I'm going to see what comes of it, and in that respect, if you have offspring from that and you've improved on their performance, but they have that something in them where you don't think they're really, really game, then you can stop it right there. Take the ones from that same breeding that exhibit that really, really game or that tenacity or durability, use those ones. You don't have to breed every one. And that's a problem with a lot of people, is they breed whatever the dog is based on their pedigree and based on who their parents were and grandparents and all that, without thinking, hey, I can use this one. Maybe, you know, he improved on some of the traits that I liked, but he displayed that deep gameness, and his brother, you know, didn't display that deep gameness. Don't breed to that one. Breed to the one that showed it. That's how you fix it. That's how you improve on it. But when you breed all these dogs just because they're bred a certain way or they're littermates to this dog, you know, and they always say, you know, you hear sometimes the lesser dog in the litter is the better producer. That's true. But throughout the history of the breed, and I went over this before, the best dogs come from competition dogs. The best athletes and the best producers come from dogs that were matched, dogs that were winners, dogs that were champions, dogs that were superior athletes. That's just standard. I don't know where somebody got it in their head, you know, that they're all the same or they could all produce the same because they're bred the same way. That's bullshit. That ain't never been true. And again, a lot of this shit comes from peddler ways of thinking or somebody trying to hold on to something they don't want to let go. You know, it's the last of its kind. It's the last of that breeding. It's the last blood of the bloodline. There's a reason it's last. That shit wasn't no good. So, you know, it's all a matter of your eye, and it's all a matter of, because you're always going to have to go along and improve here, improve there. The breed is always evolving. You know, you're always trying to make it better. And it may just be you're making it better within your own family of dogs. That's good too. That's all that you should care about anyways. When I say improving the breed, it doesn't mean that everybody's going to come together and the breed on a whole is going to get better. What matters is what's in your yard. And if you can improve on those dogs or retain that high level, then you're good. You're golden. But you know, it's not, you know, where, you know, I wonder what's going to happen. I hope this happens in 50-50 and all. I say that shit over and over again because for the life of me, I don't know where this shit come from. That you know, I'm taking a chance and all that, and fuck that. You should know what you're doing. You should know how to make breedies. You should know how to put shit together. You should know how to improve. You should know where you're lacking and how to fix it, you know? And so to the question, you know, yeah, you can do that and fix it. But if there's a trait that's pronounced as bad that you don't like, even if you bred the dog, if they show that same stuff, don't use it after that. Don't hope that it's going to skip a generation or hope that it's going to, you know, because now you kind of embedding it in there and you're solidifying it more, and it's going to be harder to get rid of later, you know. So you got to go from dog to dog, breeding to breeding, like that. Get rid of the crap, keep the good stuff. You're always going to have negative shit, and if it's not too much, it's okay. You can deal with it. But if you start breeding that negative shit, or it's in there, and you keep doing it over and over, you're just compounding it and making it more. It's going to be harder to get rid of later. So that's my take on it.
Yes, indeed. Brother Bach, what's your take on it?
Same. I'll be just saying the same thing. I can't say a word different.
Yes, sir. All right, and y'all in the chat, make sure y'all put y'all questions in because we flying through them. We're flying through them. The pros and cons of being a one-man show versus being a combine or a cap, Brother Bach.
Depends on the individual. I mean, is the individual one who works well with others or a person that works alone? Me, myself, when I was doing it, I didn't want no partners. I had fellow dogmen that I was close with. They was access to my yard, but weren't partners. Meaning I make all the decisions of everything in my yard. So then at that time, I didn't, you know, I was into a line of work, I wasn't working a regular 9 to 5, so I was home with my dogs all day, so I didn't need the help that maybe someone who was a 9 to 5 worker could have used another partner because they work at certain times of day or they one night and they can be able to help out and do it. So, it just depends on the individual. But um, it's I mean it's always good to have those you can trust that's in your circle. But again, that doesn't mean it has to be a kennel partner per se, or you combine with different ones, But it's to the individual, that wants to partner up with people. Somebody might don't have enough money to buy the dolls, and then you got a dude who they got the money, but the um, he doesn't have the time to deal with it, so he just pays for everything, and then he got his other partners that do more of the labor and dealing with the dogs. So for those type of people, that works out. But me personally, at the time, no, I didn't have no partners. I didn't want none.
Yes, sir. What about you, Mr. Garcia? Better be a one man show, or what's the pros and cons to having a kennel partner or being a part of a combine?
Well,
Oh,
all
wait a
what
minute, hold on,
Box.
wait 1 second. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just sorry to put the con to that. Why? Again, I didn't want to share none of my things I had to do with a partner. So if I make all the decisions, I didn't have to run it by nobody about how I want to breed, what I want to do with my dogs. You understand? So that was the con to me. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rich. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. That's good because I agree with everything Box said, and that's kind of the point where it got to with me. Now you can have people that you work with, even kennel partners and all like that. Some people like that. They need that, and depending on the circumstances, like Box said, it may be necessary. And I had a partner for a while, but I was on my own more often than not. But with me, and this is where I used to get flack, or not really in arguments with people, but they would be their commentary was, they didn't like what I did, right? But my regardless of whether I had a partner or I was on my own, I did shit my way. These are my dogs. I'm gonna do them how I want. I don't care
Right.
what anybody says. I'm not gonna listen to people, and I don't mean I'm not gonna listen to constructive criticism. I will, and even harsh criticism, because they might be telling you something that's right, whether I acknowledge it or not. But irregardless of all that, I'm still going to do shit my way. And I, like I said, I used to get flack for why you do this and why you do that. You should do this and you should do that because they're my fucking dogs. I'm gonna do them however I want, you know. And I wasn't an asshole about it. I would listen to them and still just do shit the way I wanted to do it. And in that respect, I'm gonna take all the heat for the shit that goes south, but the accolade should come to me too because I'm doing my thing. And if it works out right, it's because of me, you know. There's proven that there's combines and teams and all that. Even in the journal, several matches says G&G combine, a lot of them, because at the time I did have a partner, but I always made sure if I handled and conditioned the dog, that's what I would put for the match report. If it was my partner, that's what I would put for the match report. If it was my dog, it was my dog. If it's his dog, his dog. And I did that throughout my whole career. Some of them just say schoolboy. You know, but the the cons to that, like uh Bach said, is you it may be hard for you to have a bunch of dogs if you don't have help. My help was my family for the most part, and if we went out of town, my friend would come by and clean up after my dogs and feed them, which once a year or something like that when we went on vacation, or a lot of times if it was we just going for the weekend, or we leave Saturday morning, I'd overfeed the dogs and be back Sunday night. And they survive, they're okay. And I lived out in the middle of nowhere, so there wasn't a problem for people coming by and taking my shit or anything like that. But it was just uh me and my son conditioned the dogs. When he got a little bit up in age, he helped me, but other than that, I didn't. I wasn't even a good mentor, and I would tell anybody anything if they asked me a question, how I work my dog, what I fed, you know, help them to improve. But you know, to get in close with a lot of people, no, I didn't do that. That's just the nature of the game. You know, you don't want to share a lot of information. You don't want to get, some people don't give up shit. Some people tell you shit that's wrong, you know, on purpose. So in my mind, you better off by yourself. If you can make it work, if it may mean having less dogs, you know,
Right.
or it may mean, you know, you don't breed that much, you know, that's okay, because you're going to work with what's in front of you. You can build a family of dogs from just a few dogs and have it maybe one breeding every so often. It's still your family of dogs. You don't have to have 50 of them or 100 of them, you know, and you can spend more time with them and develop them to their fullest that way. I mean, if you look at it, if you have just regular cleanup, you know, and feeding like that, it's probably around 15, average about 15 minutes a day per dog. You go out there, you clean them up, clean their area, pet them a little bit, feed them, take their bowl away or whatever, or just, you know, clean up after like that. It's about 15 minutes. So even if you have 4 dogs, that takes you an hour. So imagine if you have 50 dogs, you ain't taking care of them properly unless you have a lot of help. It just ain't happening. You ain't regularly exercising them, you know, and you may have the ones that you're keen on, and you can put that into them. You know, it may be 5 or 6 dogs that you can do that with. You know, that's what you're working with. But the rest of them are going to suffer because of that, because you can't get around to all of them and do that. On the weekend, maybe you could spend all day long with your dog and catch up and do that and run through the whole bunch of them, fuck them with them. But on a daily basis, it ain't going to happen. There's not enough time in the day. If you work, you know, even if you don't work, let's say you work from home, you still have responsibilities, and you still have other shit you got to take care of, and you can't be there all day long. In that sense, you may be there all day long, but you still got to go to the store, you still got to shop, you still got to travel and do something, you know. So it's just hard to have a shitload of dogs and take care of them the way me and Bach talk about taking care of them. It's just not going to happen. So, you know, I actually got that from Boyles, because in his own yard, he didn't have a lot of dogs. You know, it was the same dogs he used. He had maybe 10 or 12 or 15 grown dogs, you know, litters every now and again. And he farmed some here and that. So he had a lot more dogs than on his own yard. But as far as his own yard, it wasn't that many. That's what he could handle. That's kind of where I got that idea from. It made sense to me to do that. And I had people that I would give dogs away or farm dogs out to, you know. Some I sold, you know. But as far as what's on my yard, I have particular breedings and particular dogs that I focused on. That's what I consider my family, even though I made breedings different ways, and I eventually got rid of those dogs, you know, not kill them, but just either sold them or gave them away, or, you know, like that. So that's my take on it.
Yes, sir. Salute to the long way in the super chat. Appreciate the support, brother. He says, have you campaigned someone else's dog, or have you let someone else campaign your blood? Why or why not? Brother Bob.
I've never campaigned anybody else's dog, but I have let um I have let some buddies use dogs of mine to take out that they wanted to use and give them back. So, you know, but no, I've never campaigned. Now, I mean, the pros and cons of it can go either way. I mean, now, you know how they say, some people, you know, they say nobody does a dog better than you're going to do your own, or care for them better than you're going to care for them. And that's not always true, because you got some people out here that's terrible with their dogs, and anybody else having them would be better than them with them. You know what I'm saying? So, so yeah, I mean, and I know some people, won't say the names, but dogs are malnutrition. The dogs don't, you know, and in somebody else's hand, they could be an ace. Then they're aces with the people. That's how good they are. But if they were, you know, in better hands, they could be even better. You know what I'm saying? And it also the flip side of that. You could be one that takes good care of your dog, and then your dog got a bond with you. Dog don't have no bond with the other person. So now you take a sit, and then it depends on if that dog is one that's okay, like my bloodline, for instance. They are like one owner dogs. So it'd be kind of hard depending on my Tyrone Katrina stock. They will, you know, they will deal with people, but it's not going to be like dealing with me. You know what I'm saying? So, or whoever the person who had them as a puppy and raised them, they going to go all balls to the wall for that person. You know what I'm saying? And then the other person, they might not give it they all. You know, that's a possibility. So, me myself, only way I would let a dog go out would be to the people that I did it with, like Fat Bills or Boones or stuff like that. Those are only two people I ever let borrow something. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they were professional. They were gonna get a dog's quality, everything, and both of them did. They didn't lose with them either. You know, so but yeah. And like I said, if I was to take somebody's dog, I mean, I would try to do the best at it, but I've never tried it because I've never wanted that responsibility. If something happens to their dog, how can I replace it? Even if I got one better than that dog to give them, doesn't mean that that dog, which they love, is I can give it back to them. You know what I mean? So that was my reason. If you know what it meant.
Yes, indeed. Salute to my brother Snacks B in the super chat. Appreciate the love. He says, "Good money with this stuff from the OGs." Yes,
Much
sir,
love,
brother.
Much love, bro. Thank you.
Thank you.
Death Valley Kennel, salute to you in the super chat. He says, "Flesh is a nice looking dog, brother Bach."
Appreciate that. I appreciate that right now. He got some inbred puppies right now that they act just you know, they act good. They similar to act like him. You know.
What's up?
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, appreciate that, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we got through our questions pretty quick today. Mr. Garcia, make sure y'all go over and check out and register your dogs with Schoolboy Registry. Contact Mr. Garcia. Link to his Facebook. It's on in the description. And also, Schoolboy has a YouTube channel, so make sure you go check out his YouTube channel and get that good information. Brother Bach, tell the people where they can find you, man.
Oh, well, you know, yeah, you can find me. I don't even think I can get no more people on Facebook. I got over 5,000 people on that joint. But I'm on Facebook under Bakri Hotep L. And but most people can catch me on Instagram, Only in America Kennels. Only in America Kennels. You can catch me there. I was waiting on Brother Kramer. He had hit me. Suppose I ain't see him up there. He's yeah, but yeah. So, like I said, and I'm gonna just say this because again, there's a lot of people that hit me for the pups, and again, I say I don't really sell the stuff that I have like just the public, but occasionally, like I said, depending on the person that I talk, because I talk with a lot of people, and I know you get this too, Rich. I mean, we talk to a lot of people. We talk to a lot of people on giving advice on things. You know what I'm saying? About
every day, all day.
Every day, all day. Trust me when I say it. When I say I speak to no less than 50 to 60 people a day, I'm not lying to you. And I do it, you know, because again, not that I'm aiding nobody to do nothing illegal with their dogs now, but most of the questions are about conditioning, just to have their dogs in good, healthy, and things of that nature. And a lot of people call for pups and stuff. And I'm going to say it again. I don't own no dogs. Not just my Tyrone or my Bolio, Rick Rude type shit. I don't own a dog under 1,500. Now, again, anybody can go anywhere else. And you can go spend But anything that is bred that I have comes from 30 years of then the inbreeding and line breeding. You know what I'm saying? So whether I bred these dogs or they came from the ones that I put them in the hands with, who bred them down from the same Tyrone, Katrina, Bailey stock. If you're not getting that shit for no 50, you're not getting it under $1,500. So please don't come telling me no fucking shit about you want a pup, and you wasting your time and mine. I'm gonna say it again. So please, nobody hit me up. You want a pup? If I got an inbred pup, I ain't letting that shit go less than $2,500. If that shit's a 50-50 crosser, you getting that shit for 15. If I let it go, okay, to the person. And if the person talk to me about fighting a fucking dog, they're not getting shit. Okay, so if a motherfucker tell me they want to enter confirmation show or actually wild boar hunt or whatever, and I feel like that's a conversation we had, then there may be a possibility that I let one go. But I'm not getting ready. Don't come to me about no fighting shit, because I don't fight dogs no more. I haven't did it in a long, long time, and I'm not trying again to aid anybody to be the fighter that I was, or better than me, or lesser than me. Nothing. Just like Richard's not, because he gets a lot of people, and I don't want nobody believing that he and I are helping anybody to aid them to be better dog fighters.
That's right.
Exactly.
Okay, so I just want to put that out, because I know people, I know they hitting Rich, because they telling me, well, I talked with Rich, and I know they probably telling Rich, well, I talked to Bach. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
all the time.
You get what I'm saying? So I don't mind helping anybody, but like I said, there's a lot of people come about pups. And a lot of people, that I don't sell them to. And like I said, if I do decide, have your chips, don't tell me about no later on in life you have it, man. Hit me up later on in life then. Fuck you wasting my time for now.
Right,
Talking about some shit. You know what I'm saying? On some hypothetically one day when a tooth fairy come and shit and drop some tax money. I don't want to hear all that shit, man. Seriously, bro. No disrespect, because it's just too many people that I talk to a day. And it's just to sit there and just say, well, I talk to just be just rambling about shit. And then the people don't get mad when I don't fucking have time to talk to you. Like, if I actually say I don't have time, don't get a fucking attitude like I owe any motherfucker my time. I don't owe nobody shit. Like, if I talk to you, I'm doing it because I want to and I can. But if I can't, don't get an attitude, be like, well, you said you, motherfucker, I'm talking to 50 people a day, along with my own fucking children and moms and friends and shit. I got my life too. So I just want people to understand that. I'm not trying to sound fucked up, but I know Rich got to go through the same thing. And again, I'm not complaining. I don't mind helping anybody. I'm not charging you. But I'm just saying, don't get an attitude if I don't have time to call you back or fucking talk. I just don't have time. That's all. Sorry. But again, can hit me on Instagram, only in American Kennels.
That's a fact, man.
Mm-hmm.
I be trying to tell people.
Just to reiterate that, yeah, same thing. I'm not rude. I'm never rude with people. I don't motherfuck people. But sometimes I can be short, and it's just because I'm busy. I get asked to be mentored, to be a mentor to people all the time. Right. I can't do it. I don't have the time. I'll ask, and I tell them I'll answer questions. You have a question, I'll answer it. Right. And a lot of the stuff we talk about, even though it's in the past, it can be applied today, like conditioning. Maybe you in weight pool, or you treadmill race, you go to confirmation shows, or you actually hunt hogs or squirrels or whatever it is, And the breeding stuff has been with the breed since the beginning. That don't change. You can make good dogs, improve on dogs. The technique or standards are there and they're set, and you can go all kinds of different ways with it. So in that respect, it's just to help people have a better understanding of breeding and maybe help them breed better dogs. Same thing with the food and health, even the food in a keep. It could help you, or you may do it a different way, but there's certain things about nutrition that's necessary for an athlete. So it's not condoning, fighting dogs or anything like that. You just want healthy dogs their whole life, And real quick to speak on the last question, I did everything. I lent dogs out. I borrowed dogs, helped make Champion Knucklehead a champion, and Champion Dawson a champion, and I used Boomer and Baby and different dogs, and I lent dogs out. I gave Johnny Handsome to Vinny. He made him champion. Champion K went to Joey. He made her champion, and just different dogs. And my partner, we would switch dogs. Sometimes I'd use a dog, or mostly him using mine. I really didn't use any of his. He didn't have that many, but I kind of covered the gamut. But you know, like Bach said, you know, and I enjoy conversing with people. But
Me
you know,
too.
I always talk about family, and I have a lot of family that I don't want to say I'm responsible for, but I'm in their life. And you know, I hate to ignore people, so sometimes it's just a one word response, and sometimes it may take several hours to get back to you, or a day, or even 2 days if I miss something, or three, whatever it is. But I will respond one way or another. I will answer you unless I just completely miss it and don't see it. I'm going to answer you. That's just what's in me. That's the way I was raised, to be polite and respect people. But I don't have time to mentor people or go through a whole key, you know. And I don't turn around and say, well, if you want to learn to keep, buy my shit. I don't do that. Whether you buy it or don't buy it, if you ask me a question about conditioning, I'm going to answer you. Sometimes it's short, sometimes it's more longer, but I'll answer just about any damn question that someone asks me. And if I don't know the answer, I'll tell you that I don't know. I don't know. And there's a lot of shit I don't know. As much as people think or believe that I know a lot, which that may be true, I don't know everything, and a lot of things I can't help you with. So, you know, just along those lines,
Let me
you know.
just say that Schoolboy is the bomb. Okay, so he knows most shit. Let me say, I'm just being honest. And this is funny that Schoolboy said it. So it's a good buddy of mine. He's asking me because a lot of people, like you said, they want to know how I put mine together. And again, mine's kind of complicated. As I state, I do mine from the bottom up, but that's a process. I can't just tell you that on the phone, and you're going to do it and be successful. It takes time. You know what I mean? But I tell anybody, go buy Richard's goddamn keep book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go buy his keep book, and then I don't have to sit on the phone trying to explain to you when he's done a great job. I mean, there's a lot of Fat Bill and them was putting. I mean, there's a lot of conditioning books that been put out for years. I'm like, they out there.
Yeah.
Pick them up. Sometimes you want to go grab about 3 or 4 different good ones, and then you can try them and see how they work out for your dog. You know what I mean? And then you might be able to choose one over another, but the books are out there, brother. The keeps is on out there, and that's what most people want to know. And again, no 2 dogs get the same keep. I mean, really, it's it's not no one size fits all. So
No, that's true. And
so
if you look at it this way, whether you research it or you buy my keep or someone else's keep, whoever it is, whatever it costs, if you get one thing out of it that helps you improve your keep, is it worth it? Was it worth $60? Was it worth $100? Was it worth that? If it is,
correct,
then it's not money wasted.
right?
You get nowadays $60, you're gonna go to fucking McDonald's to spend that if you got 2
That's
kids.
right.
You know, so is it worth a meal if you look at it that way? You know, and again, mine, whether you buy it or not, ask me a question, I'll answer it to the best of my ability. You know. But sometimes it's good to have it, even if you download shit off the internet. It's good to have it in your hands so you can reference it as you're doing whatever it is you're doing, or you can go back if you have a question. But if you just get one thing out of it, to me, it's worth it. And I still buy shit, you know, just because I like it. I'm a historian per se, and I like to read the way other people did their shit or their stories and all that. So I have a lot of memorabilia and paraphernalia and all that. I just love the breed, and that's part of it. So I'll invest too. Somebody comes out with a new book, I'm gonna buy it. I don't care if it's good or bad, you know.
Right.
And I encourage people to write and do all that. Put your keep. Some people don't like to write their keeps because it's private. That's fine. But if they do, and it's available, and it's worth it to you to get some information out of it, even if you do your dogs different, then to me, go for it. You know, that's the best way to go about it.
Well, yeah, and that's the truth. Every keep, like I said, is going to give you different obstacles. Some of them is smooth as hell. Some of them is difficult. You're going to get creative as shit, depending when you got one that just don't want to do shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just different stuff. And to Hardy Boy's question, yeah, Hardy Boy, that's just about. I mean, Hardy dogs. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's about it, Hart. Yeah. In other words, just send it and don't ask questions. Yeah, that's about that's about how that go, Brother Hardy, from my hometown of Pennsylvania. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because they know this how, and that's how it should be.
You
Like,
already know my stuff, right? So there's no reason to ask about it.
absolutely, you know who Bach is. He's certified,
Right.
solidified. So you already know. You heard all his methods on here, most of them. So you don't have to ask these questions. Just if you want a dog, you buy it. You ask how the dog bred, and you good. Like what's the issue? And I'm tired of dudes with the whole working man's price and all that dumbass shit. Man, this ain't 1972 no more, bro. Like, you know, all that working man price shit was good and cool. You know, and some people can still get those prices, I'm sure, when they're selling a puppy to one of their friends or somebody who you know is going to benefit you to get a dog too. But like, just somebody looking for a pup, everybody done heard every sob story in the world. We done heard everything. Like, oh man, you know, I always wanted to get me a dog, but I never could get one. Never had my money right. I finally saved up $900, and I'm just trying to get a real authentic dog, man. And you know, hey, but you can get them. You can get $900. Some people got some dogs for $900.
Great, no, $600. They got some for $500. I'm not knocking nobody who got. They got some for $300. I'm not. Some of the best dogs a person gonna get might have paid $300, right? So I'm not knocking anybody. Only thing I'm saying is, when I was in the dogs, and the people I was buying dogs from, I was paying top dollar for my shit, but I was getting top dollar dogs. You understand? And I was buying puppies and shit. I was paying $1,200 and $1,500 back then. Okay, I was paying that for the regular, and even though at that time we was able to get direct fucking sons and daughters off of Jeep for $500. I mean off of ZEBO and all that shit, $500. Okay, so I'm not saying that you know, but that's just I don't feel like I got nothing with invested in it, because I ain't got scatterbread shit. I don't have all that, so I know just how to get everything I get, and I can tell you how to continue getting it when you get my shit. I'm just saying, I can tell you how to continue getting the same traits, because that's the way they are. But when you got scatterbread shit and all type of stuff, you trying to figure out how you gonna get it back. That's the problem people have when they start trying to breed their shit. They don't know how to get it back. A one-hitter quitter. You know what I'm saying? Then they spend another 5-6 years trying to see if they can get that one back. No, I'm gonna show you how to get a nice motherfucker, a couple of them in the next breed. You know, so that anybody that knows a program, whether it be Tom Garner's and anybody else that's been breeding for a good amount of time, their line, they pretty much gonna know what it is.
And to be honest with you, Brother Bach, to be honest with you, you still selling dogs for what they call working man prices. When you talking about $1,500, because like you just said, in your day, you could use getting dogs for $500 or whatever, right? Now, if you calculate inflation, that's $500 back in 1990 is like $1,200 today.
Right.
So it's like, you know, it is. That's just, so you still getting a player price. No,
and I'm saying in the 80s, I was paying $1,200 and $1,500 for my puppies. Right. I'm just saying, even though there were puppies out for $350 to $500 off of good dogs. Again, you know, anybody can put any price they want on their dogs because it's their dogs. The value is up to the owner. And then it's up to the one that wanted enough to buy it. That's between those two people. But again, I'm just stating, and I wouldn't care if anybody say, well, I don't think no so-and-so. And the person had that right. I'm not arguing with nobody about what they believe a dog they value. That's their value. But I'm just saying, before anybody even attempt in it, even if I would decide to possibly sell it to that person, already had your bread and already fucking know that other than that, don't waste my time about 3-4 months from now if the fucking sky don't fall down and my wife come out of surgery and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, and the children go to college and I get a refund and I would probably hook up and see you around. That type of shit burns me because I don't have no for sale signs nowhere. I'm not promoting. Nowhere is it saying I'm promoting the advertising shit. Okay. But I'm just saying, there's people up here saying they want some of my stuff or whatever. And I'm saying, okay, if I talk to a person, they sound, you know, kind of older and kind of wise, or not one who would fuck up some shit, I might entertain that and be like, okay, well, we can do something. That's all I'm saying. But we don't want to waste all the time on this shit here. But I'm just saying, bro, just because you open the floor.
Yeah. In today's times, you know, and I don't have dogs. That's the God's honest truth.
Right.
If I did have dogs and I decided to sell pups or whatever, I would guarantee the dog's healthy and I would guarantee the pedigree.
That's right.
And if you want to get into all that stuff in the past and all that, just watch the videos or read books.
Right.
My books.
Right.
The information is all there. How are they? How are they built? What they look like? How they perform? All that stuff. So just because the nature of the way things are today, that's about all you would get from me. That's it. And that's all I would guarantee. I wouldn't even guarantee if the dog don't work out, come back. I don't do that shit. I didn't do it back then. You get what you get. I'm honest about what they did and how they're bred and all that. And that's it. So if you want it, you're going to buy it and then go see. If not, that's okay too. I never encourage anybody or try to wheel and deal or nothing like that, you know? So that when you're talking to someone like Bach said, who's been breeding dogs for years and years, and it's the same family of dogs for years and years, do a little bit of research and you'll know exactly what you're getting. Don't put people on the spot and ask them questions, because they will hang up on you.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes I get those kind of questions, you know, in my messenger. I just delete them. I don't even answer them. I delete the question. If they persist, I'll block them. You know, that may be an asshole move or whatever, but I don't know who you are on the other end. Why are you asking me these fucking questions that are illegal questions? Why are you sending me videos? I don't even look on the video unless I know you.
Right.
Unless I know who you are. And people I know, they don't send me videos of dogs fighting, even if they're old videos. I just won't look at them.
Right.
And I won't. And if it's the wrong question, I'm not. It may seem kind of rude, but I just don't answer it. And a lot of times I just delete the question. They get the idea, but I don't. So, and speaking to that, I don't know who the fuck it is. Maybe you're a cop or something. Maybe you're trying to elicit some shit. I don't know.
Yeah. Somebody just trying to start some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't message people, hey, you know, did you win and all that? I don't even know who's doing what. I don't know shit. So when they ask me, did you hear about this and that? No.
Right.
I didn't hear about shit. I don't know shit. I don't even know the pedigrees of today. You tell me. You tell me what the dogs come from and how they're bred and all that. You know.
That's because see, the reason why you, Bach, and the other brothers of the panel wouldn't do anything like that is because you're real dog man, and like you don't have to. You already know what things you should or shouldn't say. So like should or shouldn't say. Like a drug dealer wouldn't call somebody on the phone and say, hey man, whatever happened to the last 2 keys? Did you sell those 2 keys?
Exactly. Right.
Did Chris come pick up those 2 keys?
Right.
Or who Chris selling it to? Nobody would do that.
Right.
But in the dog game, people think it's okay to ask these stupid questions.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's unbelievable to me. I'm like, this dude gotta be a cop or something, or a rat or something.
That's why I question that. Who is this person asking me this shit or putting this shit out? You know? Right. Why would you do that? So I'm very wary of that. I don't even want to say or imply something that would affect someone else, not just me. You know, I ain't got shit, but just someone else. You know, what about him? What did he do? Did he this and that? I don't know. I don't know shit. Could be my brother. I ain't telling you shit. You know, so just take that for what it is. It's just common sense not to talk that way, not to share certain things that way. If you really intent on being a dog man, or you want to get into it, you do it the traditional way. You put in the work, you put in the time, you make acquaintances, you make friends. You got to spend money. There ain't nobody in the dog game that I don't know over a period of time that hasn't spent thousands and thousands of dollars on dogs.
That's true.
It's just the way it is. And I don't care what it is. I don't care if you like you know, Ram, he likes racing cars. You know, it costs a lot of fucking money.
Right.
And whatever you're in, I don't care if it's football, I don't care if you you know, you play instruments or whatever, it costs money. So just take that into consideration anytime you're willing to buy, you want to go look and purchase something from someone. It's their price. If they don't want to haggle the price, you have to accept what it is. That's what it is. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. You as a consumer don't have to purchase
That's
it.
right.
Right.
And
That's
if someone's pushing me to buy something, I damn sure ain't gonna buy it, especially a dog.
Hey, that's what my wife is. She hate when people she hate when people like too pushy with like sales pitches and shit. She hate that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Salute like to get some fucking marketer on the phone, and I just hang up on the motherfucker. Why you trying to sell me something? Insurance or some shit. That even my lawyer would say that. He told me, I don't advertise, Richard. If you're good, people hear about you. They know it. I don't have to fucking advertise.
Right.
Makes sense to me.
Absolutely.
I know one thing. Okay, go ahead.
Walnut. Let me read Walnut, PA, in the super chat. Appreciate the support, family. It's just another great show. Thank you, family. Go ahead, brother Bot.
Much love to brother Walnut. Oh, he out of PA? Okay, that's one of my homies then, out of Pennsylvania area. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel a little disappointed that I have not heard our theme song yet.
Oh, okay. we're gonna do that. I was gonna close the show out with it, you know what I mean? But
okay. I mean, we normally had that as an interlude.
Bach
because afterwards,
chomping at the bit.
Hey, you know what? That has inspired me. His song has inspired me to get up with the females I got called the Honduras Fruit Juices, and they're about to come out with a only page and everything. Yeah, we will have these guys here checking out our Honduras Fruit Juices. Okay,
absolutely.
They will be coming out, and you inspired me, Kevin, to make sure that I have our beautiful ladies seen by the goddamn public with all this beauty just sitting here just for me looking at. I'm gonna make sure the world can see some of these Honduran fruit juices.
Yeah, you found the fountain of youth. You're a youngster again.
Hey, they keep you young. So yeah, if you don't mind, you ain't got to close out with it, Kev.
No, I'm gonna play it. I want to say something, and then I'm gonna play that to cheer me back up because I gotta address something. Salute to my brother Daniel Bouchard. He says 78. He said you got the brother to your mail lined up. For those who don't know, my dog, one of my dogs, Lord Mayday, has passed away. You know what I'm saying, due to a kennel accident with my boy Doc, unfortunately, and it pissed me off royally because I was really looking. Mayday was a real good dog. Both him and Doc are good dogs, and I was looking forward to breeding. That. Yeah, thank you, brother. I was looking forward to breeding Mayday to Honey for what I had in my mind and shit, what I wanted to do and shit like that. But he didn't make it. But so I did talk to the breeder, explain the situation to him. So yeah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna bring no more males to my yard. I'm just gonna keep Doc here and just let the bitches stay here with him because he just an asshole like that. You know what I'm saying? And it no sense. Like, and if I had time to handle my dogs myself, it would be fine. But when I got trust in other people, a yard guy to do it, they goofy, they stupid, they tree huggers at heart, and they think they know shit. Oh no, they're friends. They can play together. Stupid shit like that, and then bullshit happen. So. But yeah, I'm good on that. Tip.
Sorry to hear that, brother.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, brother. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. You don't know how much you love a dog till you lose that motherfucker, boy.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man, I was sick as a motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Sick as a motherfucker. But yeah, salute to Future Kennels in the super chat. Appreciate the love. He says salute 78 OG Mr. Garcia, OG Bach. Much respect. Enjoy the knowledge from the panel. Yes, sir.
Salute to the future. Yes, sir. Salute to Future Kennels. And also the Red Bobby, the brothers in the house,
Yes, sir.
Salute.
Salute.
Yeah. So what would you great? Yeah. So what would you great say with that?
What I was about to say this.
Money and magic, XXX. Hold up, honey. No, I'm not your hoe or housewife. What you thought this is? It's not personal, it's business. When you see me, I be fancy underneath it. I be nasty, sharing lace off in my panties. Easy access, ain't no scamming. Got me choking while I'm slurping love potion. From the back type, busted wide open. Got some D-cup titties in a bubble butt. Made his dick hard as shit. All I heard him scream was fuck. Give it to me, bear. Pulling on my motherfucking hair. Pretty pussy pink, knock it out. Put that ass to sleep. Got his wood all in my back. Come in my stomach with all of them racks. Make his dickhead split up cash. Huh? Now give it to me like you want some more. No Tatiana, that's that bottom shelf quality type of hoe. Taste this pussy, you'll eat something that you never had. Put that chain around my neck and choke me till I'm brain dead. Then throw me all of them bands and cash it out to my OnlyFans.
Ooh, that's
Bach is whole again. Bach is whole.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? It's to the point now, and I just put a condom on before this song played. Okay. I mean, damn it, boy, just make a motherfucker shoot shit clean.
Rasta man, if you out there, you missing out, brother. Rasta man, you missed it again.
Rasta man probably got his head somewhere deep as we speak. with his knee pads on and the light on the top of his helmet. Okay.
Yeah. When I come visit though, Bach, I'm gonna bring the sister with me so you can meet her.
Yeah, but make sure that she knows that she will be more than just met when she gets here. I'm gonna greet her in the most present way. So just let her know.
Man, ain't no woman coming with me unless she know what time it is.
Okay, there you go. Okay, because
ain't nobody coming to sightsee and shit. You know?
No, exactly. Well, you already know, like Snoop Dogg said, ain't no fun if the homies can't have nothing. Okay.
Yeah, what you talking about?
All right. Okay. So I'm just gonna let her know that I'm gonna be butt ass naked with some Timbs on and a work belt when I see her at the airport. Okay.
I'm gonna tell her.
Okay.
She gonna crack up.
He gonna be in his socks if it's winter time.
No socks on. I'm going hard with the Timbs, butt ass naked with 20 below zero with a work belt on, with a condom already on. That's it.
You'll heat up real quick. Yeah,
I'm already heated. As soon as I hear her shit, I can envision all that shit she talking. Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but for the people who got caught, now see, this is a good point I want to make real quick before we get out of here. Like, y'all know how I feel. I love that dog, Lord Mayday, and he bred to perfection. Beautiful, right off of a champion. Beautiful breedings, beautiful pedigree, I should say. But now I could have been slick. If I was an asshole, I could have not told nobody and just bred to his brother and use his paperwork to sell puppies. That's what a lot of people do.
Yep.
A lot of people do shady shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I came out here and told y'all what it is.
Right.
So when I'm still going to breed to his brother, but y'all going to know y'all getting from his brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Honesty, integrity matters. And your reputation is all you have at the end of the day. And people that lie and do shit like that, eventually it comes out. Because people don't keep their mouth shut. They ain't no secrets, man. They just,
Yeah.
So take that when you talking about these dogs and breeding and all that. The dogs that deserve the credit should get it. The ones that don't shouldn't. It's that simple.
Yeah, his brother is a firecracker. He's more wild than Lord Mayday was a calm dog, but he was about that action. But he was a calm dog. His brother is like a more wild, hard keep dog,
Yeah.
He like to chew on shit. He like to jump around and try to smack everything that move type of shit. Weirdo, But it's gonna be some nice energy though. I'm gonna see what happens because I didn't want to. I liked Mayday's. I liked his temperament for Honey because Honey is a firecracker. So now if I breed Honey to the brother, he a firecracker, then it's probably gonna be a fucking problem, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bunch of nutcases and shit.
Yeah, probably. That's another thing I talk about breeding. If you have dogs that are like that, let's say you have two timid dogs, don't breed them together. They'll compound it. You have two wild dogs, that's a little bit less, but expect that they probably gonna be wild. Some of them may not. Maybe they be like Lord Mayday, and if that's the type you like, I'd choose one of them.
Yeah.
But that's just another thing about breeding too.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, Mr. Garcia, tell the people they can find you.
You can find me at Facebook Messenger. My email is all small letters, Richard J. Schoolboy60 @gmail.com or on Instagram. Hit me up if you want register a dog or purchase some T-shirts or books, or I'm gonna have some sticks, breaking sticks coming soon, or you know, I got different things. You know, I advertise too, and I appreciate everybody's support and everybody's input. My YouTube channel is Richard Garcia, and then in quotes, Schoolboy, all caps. So I'm getting you know, more and more subscribers, which I appreciate, and I'm trying to do a video at least every day, sometimes every 3-4 days, but I'm just going to keep them coming, man. Eventually I'm going to go live, hopefully this month, maybe.
Yeah.
I got School Baby working on that. And
yes. And go online with School Baby, by the way.
Yeah. I'm going to have her in the video too. I'm going to have her talk.
Well, that's why your subscription will go up. School Baby is the one needed up there. Her face will be a little bit better looking than yours up there, Richard.
A lot better. I thank God for her mother, because my kids are all good looking, and it ain't because of me. It's because of her. They're pretty.
Hey.
Yeah. So yeah, she's gonna be involved too. She's the one put all that shit together. I didn't know how to do it. That's why I hadn't done it previously. I don't know how to do none of that shit. So she's my manager. She's my secretary. She's my you know, treasurer. All that stuff, man. So she's learning. She's getting it, and maybe I can get some of these old farts on there to talk. You know, I'll definitely have Bach, Rosterman, even Kevin. You know, 7-8.
Right.
Yeah, man. Let me come through and bless the channel so I can brag to my friends. I was on Schoolboy shit.
Yeah, I'll definitely, brother. You helped me a lot, and I want to return the favor. And then you know, I have friends. I don't think some of my friends will come on here. They ain't that way, but maybe I get some of these older guys, you know, like we're at that show, you know. I'm Jim Stinson, you know, we kind of I met him before, and you know, he kind of was interested, you know. So maybe I'll have something like him. I have good you know, starting a good relationship with him, you know. He's got a lot of stories about art. That's what people want to hear about, art. But he had a lot of dogs, Champion Tuffy, Dolomite, Sugar, you know, Samson, different dogs that people would like to hear about, you know.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Brother Bach. You have something to say, brother?
No, I was talking about Brother John Kramer. Had me waiting on him the other day. John, what happened to you? I was waiting on you on Instagram. Ain't hear nothing from you, man. All that goddamn talking, you ain't even hit a brother up. I'm just go ahead. I'm just fucking around, but yeah, like I said, anybody just on the Schoolboy stuff. Schoolboy has put out so much information. And again, Going Hard Kennels did an excellent job Friday, man. I swear to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch that.
Yeah, go look at that. Please look at that. I mean, I like the stuff that the twins doing over there anyway, but I mean, I didn't know that Richard was over there. And then I sat and I listened to the whole show, and Richard dropped a whole lot of good information on conditioning and things of that nature. It was very valuable. So you know, definitely want to go back and listen to that again.
I just feel honored to be on that show. It's like what happens this show, any show, you know, it progressively gets better, and they just come with some good content, you know. And I'm gonna take, you know, some of their stuff they do and run with it. You know, they put pedigrees up, they put pictures up, all that kind of stuff. Once School Baby learns how to do that, I'm gonna do that. And it just, you know, one transition to the other, you know, this question, that question. They asked me some good questions. I hope I answered them right. And you know, really I hope to be back on, you know.
Did a good job. Show, and just still the love and the love for the twins, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Out there, brothers, you know, fighting a good fight. We always got to keep that brother in our prayers. He going hard like it is, and he's scratching hard as fuck.
Scratch to win, baby. Scratch to win.
Game as hell. He's scratching to win. Now, like I said, looking for any pity or none of that. But we know we want to stick in there with the brother while he's going through some little medical things. You know what I'm saying? If some people might don't know. But he's fighting a good fight and ain't around there, bitch. Still showing up twice a week, doing quality ass shows. Whether he feels good or not, his ass is there. Okay?
Yes,
and that need to count for something. I really mean that. I'm not just here to get some likes or somebody say that's good. No, for real. I mean, he's dedicated in making sure that he gets this information to those that need to hear it. Okay? By hook or crook. So I just wanted to put that out there. All right.
Yes, sir. Much
Yes,
respect.
sir.
Yeah.
Much respect to the twins, man. Go hard, kennels. Salute to the chat. Thank y'all for joining us today. Appreciate the support. Smash that like button on the way out. We'll see y'all next Sunday. Thank you to my brothers on the panel. And we'll see y'all next week. We up out of here, man.
Peace.
Hold 1 second. Wait a minute. Kramer, I'm on Only in America Kennels Instagram. Not the email. I don't fuck around. I'm right.
Oh, wait a minute, y'all. We can't leave yet. Guess who done pulled up?
Uh-oh.
Down Ram Big Steppin'. What's up, Ram?
Okay.
Was that
There you
it?
go. There he is.
There
Motherfucker
he is.
Parvo trying to kill you, boy. But
Oh, that's okay. I got a shot for you.
Hell yeah. Them motherfucking kids got a nigga sick as fuck.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
No, that shit go. They go to school, bring the cooties back home.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They do it.
Yeah.
They'll do it to you, man. They'll definitely do it to you.
Yeah.
They'll definitely bring that shit home.
You still
Hell
here,
yeah.
still
Drop it
fighting
right off in your shoes or something where you don't even see it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Man, we're touching on stuff, grabbing on cups and stuff, and
sneaking your food when you ain't looking. It ain't no telling.
Drinking, taking a drink out of your juice in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
You know how that go. That's how
all
they
that. All that. That's how it is in my house. One person gets sick, everybody gonna get it. That's just the way it is. And the kids seem resilient. You know, they may be sick for a day or two, and then we sick for a week or two. You know.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm like, fuck, man. I had shit to do this week.
Yeah. Then you want to get close to them to give it back to them. It don't work. You know, they're good. You know, they
you can't just whoop them because they got you sick.
Yeah.
Hey Ram, I got I'm gonna be able to get Lord Mayday's brother, but I'm not gonna bring him here. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna breed to him.
Oh, bet.
Yeah, I'm gonna just breed to him because he kind of nutty. He like a firecracker, and I don't want to have that kind of. You know, I like Lord Mayday was calm and shit. You know, but I don't want no fire because Honey already a firecracker, so I don't want two of them motherfuckers over here.
Yeah, that should have turned the whole yard up.
Right. So I'm just gonna breed to him. When she come in, I can still do what I want to do and see how that shit turn out and see what happens.
Hell yeah, shit. You know, I got a tank space open for one of them motherfuckers.
Yeah. I already know. But anyway, Ram, let me ask you, since you here, might as well ask you one of these questions, man. Let me get you one of these questions. Let's see here. Historically speaking, how much weight should somebody give up? You know what I'm saying? It says the exact question is this: historically speaking, for a weight pool, how much pounds is too much to push, or does it depend on the individual dog?
Say it again. I didn't quite understand that, bro.
How much weight is too much weight to push?
Oh shit! Any ounce is too much weight to push. I never gave up no weight. Fuck you! I take the forfeit and bone out.
Right.
Hell no! Don't give them motherfuckers no advantage over your shit. You could take advantages, but don't give none. Shit. I never gave up no weight, bro. And if you did show up overweight and I still was gonna do it, I'd be all right, you got an hour. Go out there and work the shit out that dog. Bring him back in all tired and shit.
Right.
Don't put the Beats by Dre on that nigga.
Yes, sir. Well, we're gonna pick it up next week, y'all. But thank y'all for joining us, and we'll be back next week. We up out of here.
Peace.
We gotta have Brother Ram do this